Hey, Kale.
Hello.
You're first one.
I'm cool like that.
Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Taylor, I'm loving the background. Hi, Aslan.
Hi.
We'll just wait for everybody else to get on. Hey, Josh.
Oh.
I have loved seeing you guys on Google Meet since I can actually see your entire face. Kale, did you brush your hair this morning? Hi, Tegan.
Hi.
You guys are quiet. Nobody has anything interesting to share with me? I haven't seen you in forever. Gotta have something to share. Somebody had to do something fun over Christmas break or over the last 2 weeks. Nothing? Silence? Audrey, you look totally different without your mask on. I swear you guys are going to come to school next year and I'm not going to know you in the hallways. So when we go over this, I'm going to give you two choices just so you know. You can either be writing things in on Kami as we go, or if you want to do it on paper, you can either send me an email with a picture of it, or just go in then and write down the answers on Kami and not have to show all the work on Kami. I'm fine with either one, since obviously if you're on here with me, you are hearing everything, going over everything, and I'm gonna mark down who is in here so that I don't need to look for your work. There's definitely some more people that told me for sure they were getting on, so I'm gonna give them a few more minutes. But I'll mark down Kale's here, Taylor's here, Raglan, Josh, Tegan, Zach. Hey, Zach.
Hi.
Audrey, Carter. Hi, Carter. Guys, it's been so boring this week in here without you. Especially since most of the teachers have to stay in their room to be at their desk to see if, if somebody emails them or needs help with something. It's been so lonely. We're all the teachers are going to be so glad next week when you're back. You guys are so funny that you get in a group setting and now you're not talking. Every other time I've had somebody get on to chat with me during office hours this past week or last week, like they've been so chatty, talked my ear off. You guys aren't saying anything. Got to see everybody's animals. I know Emery has a cat with no tail. Taylor, how are you in here twice?
My thing crashed.
Oh, got it. Hi, Kendall.
Hi.
Okay, they've had about 5 minutes to get on, so we're just going to get started. And if somebody joins in late, that's fine too. Okay, so if you weren't here when I gave directions earlier, you can write the work down on a separate piece of paper if you want, if that's easier, and either just email me a picture or just add in your answers on Cami later and not worry about the work, or you can just fill it in on Cami as we go. Either way is fine with me. Okay, so number 1 says, Regan and 4 of her friends went to the movies. They each had to pay for a ticket and popcorn and a drink. The tickets cost $8 a piece. Each popcorn was $3.50, and each drink was $3. Write 2 equivalent expressions to find the total cost of their purchases. So notice it says 2 equivalent. You need 2 different things. Okay. Anybody have any ideas on one way to write it? You can use the raise hand if you want, if you don't want to just start talking. How would you solve this problem? How would you figure out how much it costs? It's Regan and 4 friends. So how many tickets is that? Anybody? Let's see. Carter.
That would be 2 tickets
2 tickets.
for $8 a piece.
Two
Or no, 5.
There we go. Good. It's Regan and her 4 friends. So that's 5 tickets. So we'd have 5 times each ticket is $8. So 5 times 8 plus, they're not just paying for tickets, they're also each getting popcorn. So let's see, Aslan, what would that look like for the popcorn?
You would do, 1 second. It'd be 5 times $3.50.
Good. And can you guys see my paper okay? Yes, no? Kind of? Okay. Let me see. Let me think of a better way to share this with you then. Sorry, I'm working on it. I want you guys to be able to see all of this. My laptop's running slow. My Cami's not loading in, guys. I'm trying to get there. Hi, Marin. Technical difficulties at the moment, Marin. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Okay.
can see it.
Perfect. I'll use this instead. That just means I won't be able to see whoever's raising your hand or whatever, so you guys will have to help me out a little bit with that. If somebody's got to answer when I ask questions, okay?
Ooh, so I'm allowed to shout out?
Sure. Only time I say that, Carter.
Okay.
Notice I knew exactly who was talking there. Okay. So we had our 5 times the $8 a piece for the tickets, plus our 5 times our $3.50 for each popcorn, then plus what? What would be left? Anybody?
The 3.
So 5 times our $3 for the drinks. And the reason it's 5 each time is because there's 5 friends. So the first part here is for the tickets. This part is for the popcorn, and this part is for the drinks, because there's 5 of each one of them. So that's just one way to write it. And I'll tell you, your quiz looks exactly like this, going even in order of how to do each type of problem tomorrow. Okay. So that's one way of writing it. An equivalent way to write it is now we know that we can use our distributive property. And so you could write that since each term is being multiplied by 5, you could have your 5 on the outside, and on the inside of your parentheses, you could have your 8 plus the $3.50 for popcorn plus the $3 for each drink. So that's the 2 different ways that they're talking about there. Okay. The next part says find the total cost. And you can use either method with the distributive property or the one we wrote the first time. But anybody, 5 times 8 would be
40.
40, good. Plus our 5 times $3.50.
$17.50.
Good, $17.50. Plus our 5 times 3.
15.
Good, 15. And so go ahead and add all of those up. And let's see, Kale, what would be your total amount then? Did he leave? Kale. Can't see him. Oh,
I got $72.50.
perfect, Kale. Nice job. $72.50. Okay. Next one, number 2, is distributive property. Remember, when you distribute, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply to all parts on the inside of the parentheses. So the first one would be 12 times x. So that would give us 12x. Always put your plus sign down. And then 12 times 5. And 12 times 5 is 60. So the first one would be 12x plus 60. On the next one, let's see. Zach, can you talk us through the next one?
You would multiply -4 and n.
Good.
It would give you -4n. And then you
Perfect.
would add your plus sign and then do -4 times -10, which would get you 40 because the negatives cancel each other out and make a positive.
Perfect. Good. Nice job on that one. Remember your signs from when we talked about multiplication. Remember, if it's the same sign, a positive and a positive, it's a positive. A negative and a negative, it's a positive. But if it's 2 different signs, it's a negative. Okay. So just a reminder there of those rules. But you will have your calculator, so feel free tomorrow to type anything in just to double check yourself. You don't ever want to miss a point because you multiplied wrong in your head. Number 4, the number's at the back, but you're still distributing. So you're still going to distribute the 7 to both parts. Audrey, can you talk me through that one?
You would do 7 times x, which is 7x, and then you would, and 7 times -9 is -63, so you would do -63.
Good. And you can do -63 or put your plus sign down and then think of it as -9 times 7 is -63. So either way works. I will have it written down both ways on my answer key tomorrow, so I will accept either one. You don't have to have both, though. Okay? Number 5 says simplify each expression. So this is going to be finding your like terms. Remember, like terms have the same variables with the same exponents. Okay? The other thing when you're going to do these, remember that when you go to write your answer at the end, you always have to put them in the correct order. So that means constants go last, and if there's more than one variable, it goes in alphabetical order. Okay? So, Tegan, can you kind of talk me through number 5? Tell me which parts are my like terms, and then we'll combine them.
I think she's on mute.
Oh, Tegan, are you on mute?
Your like terms are 7y and -8y.
Okay, good. So really quick, on those, a lot of people, and I can't remember if I have said this in this Google Meet or not. I've had about 8 Google Meets today, so I might have said this already, and I'm sorry if I did. But remember, you can actually type that in your calculator. Just do 7 plus -8 or 7 minus 8 and add the y back on. So what would that be, Tegan? When you do 7y plus -8.
-1y.
Perfect. And when we go to write -1y, we'll just write it -y. And then our other like terms are +6 and -13. So what is 6 plus -13? And anybody can answer this one.
-7.
-7. So you can write it as -y minus 7 or that -7 plus or -y plus -7, as long as you're putting your constant last. Okay. Number 6. On number 6, you have to distribute because there's parentheses and a number directly in front of it. So what am I going to be distributing in number 6? Let's see, Kendall. What number will I distribute?
You'll distribute 7.
Positive 7 or -7?
-7.
Good. So we distribute that whole number there to both parts. So 9x stays the same. And then -7, I'm going to put my plus sign down. And then -7 times x is a -7x. And then put my plus sign down. -7 times +5, that gives me a -35. And then -13. And now I have to combine my like terms. Let me make that look more of a 7 there. My like terms here, I have 9x plus -7x, which would be anybody?
2x.
2x, good. And Carter, since I know your mic's on, let's see, -35 minus 13 would be?
48. -48.
Good, -48. So you can write it as -48 or plus a -48, either way. Okay. On number 7, since there's no parentheses, it's not distributing, it's just finding my like terms. So my like terms, I know I have to have the same variable. That's my 3x here and negative 5x. Take the sign in front. And then my negative 7y and my negative 9y. When I look at these, Tegan, which variable am I going to go with first? My x's or my y's?
The X.
The x, good, alphabetical order. So 3x plus a negative 5x, or you can think 3 minus 5, that gives me a negative 2. So it'd be negative 2x. Then I'm going to put my plus sign down. And then I'm going to do my y's. Negative 7y and a negative 9y. When I combine those, what would that be? Anybody?
Negative 16y.
Good. And don't forget, you could write it if you wanted negative 2x minus 16y on that one. Okay. On number 8, what's the very first thing I have to do on number 8? Josh.
You would add 9x and negative 12x.
On number 8?
Oh, I'm looking at number 11. My bad. You would add the 3a and 5a.
One's in parentheses. So
Or
what
would you distribute the 8 first?
Yes, perfect. Distribute the 8 first is the very first thing you'd want to do on this one. You always distribute before combining like terms. So we have 8 times 3a, and 8 times 3a is 24a. Put our plus sign down. 8 times 2b, well, 8 times 2 is 16. Keep my b. And then the rest of it isn't in parentheses, so it just stays the same. Minus 5a minus 17b. Now we're going to find our like terms. And with my like terms, I know I have 24a minus 5a, which would be what, Brooklyn?
19a.
Perfect, 19a. And then I have 16b minus 17b, and anybody, what would that one?
Negative.
B.
Negative 1b, very good. So it'd just be negative b. Or you could put a plus negative b, either one. Good on that one, nice job. Let's see, what am I distributing on number 9, Aslan?
You're going to do the 6 times x, which is going to be 6x, and then 6 times negative 1, which is going to be negative 6.
Good. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 1 is a negative 1. And we keep then the 21x out front. Okay. From there, we would do what? What would be our next step, Zach?
You would add 21x and 6x together.
And what would that be?
27x.
Good. So 27x plus our negative 1 there. And let's see. Who can tell me why you cannot add 27x and negative 1? Can anybody tell me that one? I'm looking at your screens now, so you can raise your hand if you want. Let's see. Kendall. Kendall, you're on mute.
Shouldn't it be -6 because you multiplied 6 times?
Oh, yep. Thank you. I wondered. I was like, I hear people raising their hands. Yep. You guys, you can just shout that out when I'm writing. I'm focused on so many things on my screen right now that when I make a mistake, you tell me, and I'll make sure I fix it, okay?
Okay.
So on that one, why can't we combine those still, though? 27x and our -6. Why
Because
can't
because they don't have the same variable.
Good. They're not like terms. Perfect. They don't have the same variable. Okay. Number 10. So we have 12x minus 4 times the quantity, x plus 11 plus 20. So we need to distribute our numbers. That -4 is what you're going to distribute there. Okay. So we keep our 12x the same. And then -4 times x, that's going to be our -4x, then plus, then -4 times 11 gives me -44. I'm running out of room here, and I'm not writing small very well. Sorry, guys. And then our plus 20 at the end. So we go to combine our like terms. 12x minus 4x would be what? Anybody?
8x.
8x. And then when we go to combine, our -44 plus 20 would be, anybody?
-24.
Good, -24. And again, it could be 8x plus -24 or 8x minus 24. They mean the same thing when you're adding the opposite there, okay? Any questions on the first page? Seeing a lot of you shake your heads no, so I think we'll just keep moving. And just so you know on the quiz, if you weren't here at the very beginning, I said it's going to go in this exact order, and the only difference is that for each section, there's more types of problems. So like the section for 2 through 4, there's 3 problems on the review. On the quiz, there's 6 problems. On the simplifying each expression, here there's 6 problems. On the quiz, there's 12 problems. So it's just that there's more of each, okay? The next one's adding. So adding, we have our quantity 9x plus 13 plus the quantity -12x plus 6. So there's 2 ways that I showed you in the video to do this. Please make sure you're showing work. A lot of the people that turned in this homework assignment didn't show work. And I know you can do this in your head, but you have to show me the work too. So you can either think of it as there's really a 1 out in front of each. When you distribute a 1 to both parts, it stays the same. 9x plus 13 plus that -12 plus 6. Oh, sorry, -12x plus 6. Combine my like terms. I would have my 9x plus my -12x, and that would give me -3x. I also have my 13 plus my 6, that gives me 19. So that's one way to show the work. The other way you can show it is by stacking. So you can do your 9x plus 13 on the top, the -12x plus 6 on the bottom, and show it that way where you're lining up your like terms. So notice my 9x and my -12x, they're right on top of each other, so I know those are like terms I put together to get my -3x. And then the 13 plus 6, that gives me my positive 19. Either way works for me. Choose one or the other. You don't have to do both. On number 12, let's stack this one. So it's going to be on the top, you just write your 32x minus 7. On the bottom, you write the second term, which is negative 46x plus 9. And we got to combine our like terms. 32x plus a negative 46x. If you need to, type it in your calculator so you don't make a silly mistake on it. What do you get? Anybody?
Negative 14.
Good. Now, is it just negative 14 or negative 14x?
Negative 14x.
Perfect. Good. Then we do the second part, that negative 7 plus 9. And Marin, negative 7 plus 9 would be?
2.
Good. Plus 2 at the end. So that's your answer on that one. A lot of people on the homework seem to like the stacking method the best. So if that's what you like, go for it. The other one, remember, was showing that it's a 1 out front and we would distribute. And it's just the same. So when you do that, it's literally you're just taking it and rewriting it without the parentheses. So negative 2x minus 25 plus my negative 9x plus that negative 5. Okay. Let's see on this one. Taylor, what are my like terms?
Negative 2x and negative 9x.
Good. Negative 2x, negative 9x. And when I combine those, that would give me a negative 11x. And let's see, who can answer? This is a vocab. Negative 25 and negative 5. What do I call those? What types of terms are those?
May I?
Go ahead.
Constants.
Good, those are constants. So when we add our constants together, we get a negative 30. What about the numbers in front of the variables? What are those called? Anybody?
Coefficients.
Good, coefficients, okay. Coefficients and constants are words you really, really need to know this year and next year going into before you get to high school, because that'll be something that your teacher will say a lot. You'll need to know those words, okay? So the last one, number 14, says, for each of the figures, write and simplify a linear expression for the perimeter of the figure. What does perimeter mean? And you can raise your hand on this one. Aslan, what does perimeter mean?
The distance around the object.
Good. So Aslan, how am I going to find the distance around the outside of this triangle?
By adding all of like the links together.
Perfect. Good. So you're going to take one side, your 3x, plus another side, the 5x plus 3, plus the last side, 6x minus 5. And since, guys, you're adding them, it really doesn't matter what order you went in for those. You could have started with the 6x minus 5 if you wanted to. Okay. Again, you can think through it either way. You can say there's really a 1 in front of these, so I could distribute and combine my like terms, or you can stack. The key to stacking on this one is make sure your terms are lined up. So here's my 3x. That means when I write my 5x plus 3, I have to make sure the 5x is right below the 3x. Then again, my 6x, I have to make sure my negative 5 is right below that plus 3. When I go to combine my like terms, let's see, Brooklyn, 3x plus 5x plus 6x. What am I going to get there?
14x.
Good. So I'd have 14x. And let's go with Josh. My plus 3 and my negative 5, what would I get there?
Is it working now?
Yep.
Okay. So the +5, -6.
Wait a sec. It was +3 minus 5. So a +3, and then
Oh, yeah. That would be -2.
Good. So -2, or you could write plus a -2. Okay. I will tell you there are 3 problems like this tomorrow on your quiz. They're not all triangles, but no matter what the shape is, to find the perimeter, you're still just adding all of them up around the outside. Okay. Are there any other problems, any that you want me to go back to go over anything? I see a lot of you saying, nope, we're good. So you have 2 choices. If you are good to go, you think you understand everything for the quiz, you can get off and make sure you submit your homework, or email me if you wrote it on a separate piece of paper. Otherwise, if you came in late and you want me to go over part of the beginning again, I can do that. If you want to stay on and I can come up with some extra problems to practice with you, that works too. I will leave it up to you guys. So thank you for getting on. If you feel good, you can go ahead and get off and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Adios,
thank you.
muchachos.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, if you are still on, I'm assuming that you would like to practice some more or go over something.
I had I wasn't here, or I was here for the first one, but I didn't catch the whole thing. So I just wanted to make sure my answer was correct.
Okay.
So I did like I put 5 on the outside, and then in parentheses I put 8 plus 3.50 plus 3, and then I did like the distributive property. Would that work too?
Okay, so you can still see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so on letter A, since it says write 2 equivalent expressions, you actually have to do both.
Okay.
Right? So here's the one way, having the 5 times 8 plus the 5 times 3.50 times the 5 times 3. The second way is this way.
Okay.
So you actually have to include both, which you did by saying you then did the distributive property.
Mm-hmm.
So you just did it in a different order than me, which that's fine.
Okay. And then are those the only 2 ways that you can do it? Because I did it like another way that wasn't like I did the second way you did, but then I didn't do the first way. Were those the only 2 you could do?
Okay, can you tell me what other way you had?
I didn't know if it was correct or not, but I did like 2 on the outside, and then 8 plus 3.50 plus 3, and then I did plus 3 on the outside times 8 plus 350 plus 3, and so then I added those 2 together, and
that would totally be the same thing. So I would take that. That's not really the intention of this problem is so that you realize that these 2 things, the way I wrote it with the distributive property and then actually distributing, that those are equivalent. Okay. On the state test, sometimes they say like select all of the equivalent expressions. Mm-hmm. So the point of this question is so that you understand that both of those are the same, but what you had is not wrong. So I would give that to you, okay?
Okay, and then for number 13, I didn't catch the answer, so I wanted to make sure I was correct.
Yep. Yeah, that was the same thing for me.
Okay. So it's -11 plus -30, or you could write it as -11x minus 30, either one.
All right.
What was the answer to the very last one?
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Marianne.
14. Yep. Okay. 14x minus 2. Thank you today.
You're welcome.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. See ya.
Hello. Oh, that's Braden. Braden, this is
hi.
Hi.
Hi, Braden. Am I upside down?
Is that Curtis' teacher?
All right. I'm gonna let you be. Thank you for the
All
help.
right. See ya.
Bye.